Hello everybody and welcome back to our Springbrook Wildlife Park project in Planet Zoo. Today we're going to be making a king penguin habitat, a very big king penguin house actually. It's an indoor habitat. So for this episode, we're going to be basically going through, starting off where we left off in the last episode pretty much, and going through here and building this king penguin house. Ended up having to delete a bunch of it and redo it because it wasn't big enough for what I wanted. So I went through and basically expanded the whole thing, made it a bit bigger. As you'll have seen in at the end of the last episode, this is right behind our existing African penguin house, or African penguin habitat. It's more an outdoor habitat than anything else, but so as you're gonna see here at the beginning, we're just kind of doing some quick little background stuff to get things ready, get things prepared here, and then we're going to start working on our lower area for the underwater viewing for our penguins, and then we're going to eventually start working on the actual habitat itself. This is going to be a pretty long speed build, so get comfortable, grab a snack, grab a drink or something, get ready, because this is going to be kind of a longer one. I think I spent, I'm not sure how many hours building this, but it was several different play sessions on over several different days. But it's nice to be back here, and it's nice to be building in this zoo again. Sorry for my kind of long leave of absence. I haven't really been uploading any videos in a while, especially not on Planet Zoo for quite a while. My life's been kind of crazy again. That's kind of not anything new really. It's been kind of like that for a while, but I'm trying to balance school, online schooling to learn programming, along with my normal work schedule, plus a bunch of other stuff, and family things come up, and yada yada. You probably hear every YouTuber talking about this kind of stuff when they come back from a long break. I also kind of for a while there wasn't feeling that inspired to do much with Planet Zoo and to make videos in general, so kind of took some time off from that to try and re-find some of my inspiration for this. But you're gonna see by the end of this build, this is a really good build actually. I think this is actually my best work in Planet Zoo yet. It took a lot of time, took a lot of trial and error to get it the way I wanted it, and the final result, it's kind of a little bit, how would you say? It really only looks good because I threw in tons and tons and tons of faux rocks everywhere. So it kind of, it more so looks good because I just threw lots of pieces in, but you'll see by the end, it's going to come together quite well. This is my first time trying to do anything like this. I don't think I've ever built a habitat for the king penguin in the game. So that was kind of something new and different and interesting. It feels so weird. The king penguin has been in the game ever since the aquatic pack, which was one of the earliest packs to come to the game. And I never, as far as I can remember, I've never built a habitat for them. So that's a little bit sad, but I actually really enjoyed this, and I really like the penguins. Penguins are some of my favorite animals in real life. So I really enjoyed this habitat, building it and everything, trying to make nice little places for the penguins to go hide, to get away from the people and stuff. It was all a lot of fun. I really enjoyed a lot of it. But yeah, as you're seeing here, lots of terraforming, lots of messing around with the terrain to try and get this to work, which, kind of shows how old Planet Zoo 1 is and how some of the things work in this game. It's not always the most convenient thing trying to build habitats and stuff. It can take a lot of time and effort and energy. which brings me to the topic of Planet Zoo 2. So we actually have recently gotten, well, actually it was about a month ago now, but it was confirmed that Planet Zoo 2 is coming out later this year. We kind of already knew that from the teaser back in last November, but they came out with like a proper trailer and everything. They've been showing off all kinds of tidbits of information about it. I think there was a magazine article about it. It's actually been making the rounds quite a bit online, and a lot of people are interested in it, talking about it and stuff. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna have aquariums, they're gonna have aviaries, they're gonna have pretty much everything we were asking for in Planet Zoo 1, or some of our most requested things in Planet Zoo 1 are finally coming to the new game, and it looks incredible. I was just looking at, I can't remember which one it was earlier today. It was a kind of showcase trailer type video, and it was so interesting watching it and seeing they were showing off how the aquariums look, how the locomotion works. They're actually going to have proper climbing. That's going to be quite a bit better, it looks like, compared to this game. It all looks really good. It all looks really promising so far. I'm planning on pre-ordering the game before it comes out. And then as soon as it is officially released, I'm definitely going to probably start a playthrough of it here on the channel. I want to kind of go into it and start making videos on it from the beginning, unlike what I did here with this game. I'm kind of late to the party here, I guess. But, you know, that happens sometimes. But, yeah, I look forward to checking out the game when it does come out. Very excited for it. Excited to see more information on it and more sneak peeks. Everything they're showing so far looks really, really promising and really cool. And I really, yeah, I'm very excited for it. So getting back to talking about this build, I'm really quite proud of this. I think this is my best work yet in Planet Zoo because, yeah, it took a lot of time and it took a lot of effort, but I feel like the final result, you're going to see it if you stay to the end of the video. It's gonna look really nice. I put in a lot of time and effort into getting the details right, trying to make it feel like a real penguin habitat you'd see in a zoo. I used quite a few reference images from online, looking up, you know, different penguin habitats. I think one of them was the Detroit Zoo, and I think I'm trying to think what other ones. Might have been Cincinnati Zoo as well. But I was looking at pictures of penguin habitats online, trying to get this right, trying to get this the way I want it to look. And yeah, it should, I think you'll see at the end, it's pretty nice. The final result is going to be looking pretty cool. But yeah, so you're going to see me finicking around here a little bit. This is another thing that makes me excited for Planet Zoo 2 is it looks like a lot of the building tools are going to be a lot better. There's going to be a lot of, you know, you'll have a foliage brush. You'll be able to, it looks like we'll be able to modify the water without having to delete it, or modify the terrain without having to delete water, which I'm really looking forward to because making underwater viewing areas in this game is a pain in the behind with the way it works currently. I don't think they meant for it to be that difficult, but I also think probably when they first made this game, they probably weren't even planning on having that much underwater elements. So they probably didn't build the system with all that in mind, and so that makes it kind of a royal pain in the behind sometimes to try and do underwater sections to your zoo habitats in this game, and even making like natural water features is quite difficult if you're having to go in and move the terrain around a lot. So I'm very excited for the next game in the series. I'm hoping we'll be able to do a lot of things a lot more easily. I was actually looking, it looks like the base game of Planet Zoo 2, from what I've seen, looks like they're going to have the African penguins in the base game. So that's going to be a nice change because, yeah, it doesn't really, it's kind of weird how in Planet Zoo, you don't have any, there's no penguins in the base game, which feels really odd because penguins are such a common zoo animal. They're so popular in zoos. You would think, you know, it makes sense to include them in the base game, but they didn't for this game. But they're going to include, we're going to have the African penguins at launch, it looks like, in the second game. So that's pretty exciting because, you know, it looks like they're using the same African penguin models that are in this game. But it'll be nice to have a penguin in the base game because that always seems so strange to me in this game, how the penguins are, you know, they're all DLCs. I also hope that we can get more penguin species in Planet Zoo 2, because, you know, in this game we only got the king penguin, the African penguin, and eventually the little blue penguin, the cute ones from the Oceania pack. But that's the only penguins we have, and I really like penguins. I think I already said it. One of my favorite animals. And there's a lot of cool penguin species that would have been nice to see in Planet Zoo 1, like the Gentoo penguins, the Humboldt penguin, the rockhopper penguin. That's a personal favorite of mine. I'd really like to see all of those in Planet Zoo 2. Hopefully we can, hopefully since they're going to have a penguin species in the base game, maybe that means we'll get more in DLC later on. Or free updates even. That would be even better. But yeah, so that's something I'm hoping to see expanded on. But yeah, they were showing off the aquariums and stuff. They look so good. It's going to be so cool to be able to make actual working aquariums. And they're also going to have wildlife reserves as a feature. I've messed around with trying to make those a little bit in Planet Zoo 1. And it's not easy because, you know, animals always need keepers to be able to get into their habitats in this game. And you have to make use of the null barriers, and it's just kind of strange, and it feels very artificial. But it looks like in the sequel we'll be able to, you know, release animals from our zoos into these wildlife reserves and do some really cool stuff with that, and basically create your own ecosystem, it sounds like. That's going to be really cool. Going to be a really fun feature. So that's something I'm looking forward to for sure. And yeah. So here you're going to see there's a lot. I'm talking about a lot of faux rocks that are going to go in this habitat. When in doubt, I just cover everything with rocks if I don't think there's enough visual interest, because they just seem to make everything look better. And you know, I'm not a big fan of well, the base game rocks aren't too bad, but they kind of look out of place in a zoo setting, I feel like, a lot of them, because they, you know, look like big giant granite boulders or something like that, or like limestone or something. And in a real zoo, I don't feel like that would be very realistic, because, like, who's going to go to a quarry and mine out a bunch of big rocks so they can pile them up into rock work at a zoo? Like, who's going to do that? I don't, like, maybe some high-budget zoos would do that, but I feel like for most zoos, the cheaper and more realistic option would be, you know, using fake rocks like these, made out of, you know, plastic or concrete or something like that, or resin. I think sometimes that is used for them. Sometimes styrofoam. I think I've heard. I'm not sure, but it's kind of interesting to look into how that stuff is made. But it would make more sense in a realistic zoo setting to be using fake rocks. So I like using the faux rocks in this game to try and, make my habitats look more realistic and stuff. They're also recolorable, so you're not stuck with just one set of colors like with all the other rock sets. You can recolor them, and you get some smaller rocks you can place as well that look pretty good. But yeah, I'm going to end up placing, you're going to see in the speed build, it's going to be like, I don't know, maybe several hundred, maybe even up to 1,000 maybe faux rocks in this enclosure, just to try and get things looking the way I want them. I tried to kind of take some inspiration from real penguin enclosures, but also like sub-Antarctic islands where the king penguins live, where they have a lot of really rocky coastlines with very little vegetation in a lot of places. So I was taking a lot of inspiration from that. And you're gonna see here, I'm gonna make kind of the pool area with the concrete. I'm gonna throw in a lot of faux rocks there to kind of try and make it look a little more realistic and a little bit more natural, if you can call it natural. It's not natural, but it's meant to mimic a natural environment, I guess. And that also is something I carried over into the African penguin habitat. You'll see it in the real-time part. I'm gonna go through and show you guys what I did with that one. I also added some more faux rocks to it, some more vegetation and stuff, just because the way I left it at the end of the last episode was kind of a bit bare bones, and I felt like I could do a bit better. So yeah, you're going to see that at the end of the episode. And a few other little fun things, little things I've been working on here in this zoo. This zoo project is, I don't know if I'm gonna get it completely finished by the end of Planet Zoo's lifespan. Like before, what I mean is I don't know if I'm gonna get this whole thing finished before Planet Zoo 2 is released and we move on to playing mostly that game on the channel. I don't know exactly how long it's gonna take to finish this zoo, but my thing is there's still a lot of animals in this game that I'm realizing now that like I haven't really built much for, or haven't built for them at all, and part of that is just because I easily get distracted when I'm playing this game and forget about things that are actually in the game that I could be using. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I haven't, a lot of animals in this game I haven't made habitats for, and I kind of want to do that before the sequel comes out. Just, kind of also to work on my building skills a bit in a game like this, because I feel like it takes a lot of time and effort to get good at building in a game like this. And, especially with the modular building, it feels quite daunting. I've been playing this game, I'm trying to think. Okay, so it looks like I started playing the game back in 2021. Crazy that it's been that long, but yeah, that's like 5 years ago now. I think I have, if I look on Steam, I think I have a little over 1,400 hours over those 5 years or so. So I've played quite a bit of this game. And still there's a lot of things that I'm not great at. I'm not always the best at building buildings. I'm not always the best at making realistic looking habitats and stuff. So there's quite a bit of stuff that I'm still working on getting better at in games like this. And so it's kind of always a work in progress. I feel like with a game like this, it's always a work in progress to try and learn what you're good at, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. And I like building zoo habitats in these games that kind of look like they could be real habitats in a real zoo, but also, are kind of unique, not exactly a one-to-one recreation, so kind of doing your own thing with it, which is kind of what I did for this one. Took, some inspiration from some real zoo exhibits, but also worked on, putting in some of my own ideas and stuff like that. But I gotta say, it's gonna be so fun playing. I keep going back to this, but it's gonna be so fun to check out Planet Zoo 2 when that comes out, and get to see what's changed. And I'm hoping a lot of things will be easier to build. A lot of things will be. It looks like they're gonna have terrain or vegetation brushes and stuff like what they have in. I think it's Jurassic World Evolution 3 has that as well. It looks like they're kind of taking some features from some of their other games, and they're going to be including them in the new game. And I'm really excited for that, to see kind of how that changes the gameplay and changes the building dynamics. And you know, it should be pretty fun. I'm quite hyped for it. As we get, I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna keep making videos on this particular project in this game until Planet Zoo 2 comes out, and we're going to continue to I'm going to continue discussing every little piece of info and news that we hear about the new game as it gets closer and closer to release. I'm going to keep making these speed builds and keep discussing that stuff here and giving my thoughts and stuff. And you know, if we finish this zoo before Planet Zoo 2 comes out, then great. If we don't, oh well, you know, it's not the first time I will have started a project on this game and not completed it. But there's just a lot of animals in this game that I never really built for that I'd like to. And, you know, the king penguin was definitely one of them. So I wanted to do them justice, especially since, like I said, penguins are one of my favorite animals. And, so yeah. So what you're seeing here probably right now is me detailing out what's gonna be our underwater section. I just threw tons and tons and tons of faux rocks in here, but I wanted it to feel kind of like a realistic underwater section. You'd have, you know, somewhere the penguins would feel at home diving in, but also, you know, something that's visually interesting. You know, from the guest perspective, they're only going to see like the top part of the water because of the way I set it up, to where the water level goes down deeper than what the guest's viewing level is. So you're not, if you're from a guest's eye view, you're not going to see all the details in here. But I felt like it was important to do good detailing work, you know, because if you're watching the penguins swim around, you kind of want them to be in a decent looking environment. And so, yeah, as you can see, random rotation on the aquatic faux rocks is definitely your friend when it comes to doing stuff like this, because it's just, there's not a lot of different rock pieces in this game, I've noticed. Like there are a few different ones, but they're all, none of them are like super massive, and there's very few that are very small. So you have to kind of sink them into the ground, sink them into things, or you have to, if you're making a big rock wall, you have to stack a bunch of them on top of each other to try and create like a varied cliff face kind of structure. And so a lot of people actually started using the stalactite, I think they're called the stalactite or stalagmite pieces from the Twilight pack to kind of make like a nice like mud wall kind of look. And I like that, but I feel like in a habitat like this, it just doesn't feel right. You know, penguins feel like they should kind of have a tundra rock sort of aesthetic. So I wanted to go with kind of a more dark gray rock sort of look and line the outer edges of their pool with that. And I wanted to basically make it feel like, you know, this could be somewhere in the Southern Ocean, you know, and try and recreate their habitat the best I could. A lot of penguin habitats I was looking at and saw online, a lot of them are very rocky, so I tried to kind of sort of capture that the best I could without making it look too monotonous, using different rock pieces, and you're gonna see I'm rotating them in different angles. Some of them are gonna be upright, some of them are gonna be on their sides. Just anything to kind of break up the textures and avoid having them look monotonous, and make it look like a varied rock structure, because it's a very, like, it's a zoo habitat. Yes, it's not real rock formations, but on the other hand, it's supposed to look like real rock formations. It's supposed to look like real rocks to some extent, at least, even if they're made of, like, you know, concrete or resin, or you know, just a painted plastic piece. Like, it's supposed to look realistic. And so you know, people are going to notice if there's a texture that's repeating itself a lot. And so that's why I kind of came in here. You're gonna see I came in here with a few of the tundra rocks that are not faux rocks, but I kind of mixed them in a little bit here and there to kind of break up the monotony of the textures, make things look a little bit more varied, look a little bit more unique as you go around. And I think it ended up turning out really good in the end, but it was just a lot of work and finesse and messing around to try and get everything to look right. And it's you know, it's a process. That's the thing with any game like this. And I see some people, you know, they post that they get kind of frustrated with games like this, because, you know, you work for 3 hours and you barely get something done, or, you know, you try your best to make a good looking habitat and it doesn't end up looking good. And then you go online and you find someone else's work and it looks amazing compared to yours, and you're like, dang, man, how did they do it? How did they make that look so good? I feel like I'm so bad at this game, you know, that kind of thing. It's better not to beat yourself up about things like that. I feel like it's a learning process. It's a trial and error sort of thing. I think you're going to, at the start, especially in a game like this with modular building, you're going to struggle at first a bit to make things look good and make them look kind of your own and make them look unique and different. But that's kind of part of what makes the game fun, is learning new ways to make things look good, new techniques for making habitats look realistic, look special and different and unique from one another. And, you know, I think that's kind of part of the fun of the game, is playing around and checking things out and messing with different things, different settings, different pieces to try and get things looking right. But I will say, item scaling in Planet Zoo 2 will definitely make it a lot easier, because being able to shrink down, like, your rock pieces and stuff, and control exactly how big they are, it'll make it a lot easier, I think, to make things look good. What you're going to see here is I'm going to be building a water feature. I'm making a kind of little mini waterfall, because I just felt like there needed to be something with some extra visual interest here. But I wanted to make it look like it was kind of pouring out of the rocks, and so that took a bit of trial and error again to kind of get everything looking right. And the water special effects pieces in this game are kind of bad for making small waterfalls, and I didn't want to use the big waterfall pieces we got in the aquatic pack, because I just felt like those would take up too much space and distract too much from the rest of the habitat. And you know, they just kind of, I don't think they look bad necessarily, but there's some things with them that it's hard to kind of cover up the outer edges of them without covering up most of the waterfall itself. I'm hoping that in Planet Zoo 2, I keep talking about Planet Zoo 2, but it's just, I'm so excited for it, and I'm sure most of you are too. It's just something I really hope gets changed a bit there, to where it's easier to make realistic looking waterfalls. and water features, because, you know, in zoos often you do see like an artificial waterfall put into a habitat, and it helps, you know, add visual interest, kind of add some serenity and stuff to your habitat. But if it's hard to build them in the game, it kind of, I don't know how to say it, like disincentivizes you doing it and trying to be creative with it. So I had to get a bit creative here and use some of the fountain jet pieces to, for example, to try and get this to look right. And it still looks a little bit odd, but it looks better than I think it would if I were using the big waterfall pieces, because it would just look too big and look like the water's coming from nowhere. So yeah, you got to make do with what you've got, I guess. You're going to see here also that eventually I'm going to start placing down some gravel pieces. Those are from the workshop. Those are I think they're the Zen Pebbles. They're technically in the game files by default, but you need like a mod or something in order to re-enable them to actually be able to place them in your zoo. But thankfully, another Planet Zoo creator, Leaf Productions, he went into the workshop and he uploaded them as a blueprint, and you can download them without needing any mods. So that's very nice. Big shout out to him. He's one of my favorite Planet Zoo content creators. And yeah, that's a very nice little feature. Yeah, you're going to see here I'm going to try messing with the big waterfall pieces from the aquatic pack. It just didn't work. It just didn't look right. So decided instead, you know what, we're just gonna kind of mess with the faux rocks and these existing fountain jets and make them look good the best we can. Then I was looking at the Zoopedia there to try and figure out, and then I'm looking at things from different angles to try and figure out how I want to do this. Was trying to figure out exactly how I needed to make it look. Decided to make the building come out a little bit there so that you'll have a separate staff entrance that doesn't go straight into the habitat, just because I feel like that looks a little more realistic and it looks a little bit better in general. So yeah, but let me know if you've gotten to this point in the video. Let me know what kind of animals you want me to make habitats for in this park zoo project next. I have a few different ideas. I want to make kind of a restaurant area near the penguin house that is gonna be kind of penguin themed, you know, a lot of seafood on the menu perhaps. So we might be building that in the next episode then. But we're also going to move into some other habitat sections. I want to do a habitat. Well, I want to do habitats for quite a few different animals. The American alligator is one. I haven't really. It's been a while since I've really messed with them in this game, and I think they're another one of my favorites in the game just because they look so good. Probably the best looking crocodilian in the game, if you ask me. Speaking of crocodilians, recently I saw some teasers that they were posting. Planet Zoo 2 is going to have much better looking saltwater crocodiles, which should be great. I don't think I've ever actually built a habitat for them in this game because their model just doesn't look very good. Because, well, honestly, if I'm being completely honest with you, almost all of the base game models for the animals in this game don't look the greatest. There's a few that are, you know, hidden gems. They look pretty decent, but a lot of them just kind of don't. They just kind of look, I don't know. I think early on they were kind of messing around and they were trying to figure out, messing around maybe isn't the right word there, but they were messing with trying to figure out, you know, how to get the how to figure out what style they wanted the animals to look like. And I think later on they kind of settled on a more realistic style, but early on I think a lot of the animals looked very cartoonish. You know, I think of like the red panda looks kind of you know, like a toy or something almost, or like a stuffed animal. Nothing wrong with that, but that's, considering the kind of route that they went with this game afterwards, it feels kind of out of place. And, you know, there's a bunch of others. The grizzly bear doesn't look that great. Hopefully in the next game it'll look a lot better. And there's a bunch of others. Himalayan brown bear. I don't even know if that's going to make it into the next game because it was so unpopular in this one. But, you know, there's a lot of them that just, you know, they show their age. And, you know, this is a game that came out in 2019. You know, it's kind of showing its age already. But some of the newer packs, though, I mean, they have some really good-looking animals. One I really want to make a habitat for is the, I think it's, you pronounce it the Pierre David's deer. A very endangered deer species, but the model looks amazing for it. And if you compare it back to like some of the early ungulates and hoof stock we got in the early packs for this game, it just looks so much nicer. It looks so much more detailed, I feel like, and like what it should look like compared to, I don't know, the Springbrook in the base game looked kind of, you know, it's not terrible, but it looks a little, you know, could use some updates, could have used some more details and stuff. So anyway, getting back to the build, yeah, so you're gonna see here a bit of a jump cut. I went through and made a roof for this building because it just didn't feel right having it be open air. You know, penguins need kind of a climate controlled place anyway, so I figured we'd put the roof on and then we'd continue the build there. And I also put the penguins in there to get a sense of scale. You're gonna notice here they look very small in this habitat, but I ended up getting them looking pretty good in here. But I wanted to have room for a lot of them in here, so that's why I made it so big. And also, it's hard to get a sense of scale in this game sometimes, if I'm being honest, because you just, you know, you look at things and it's like, if you don't have a human model there or you don't have guests in your park, it's like, it's hard to tell how tall you need to make things, how big things need to be and stuff. So anyway, here I am making some metal supports to kind of hold up the back wall and make that look good. And then this also connects to the shelter for the African penguins as well. So the staff will be able to easily access both. It's also quite close to our staff area, our big staff building. So that should, you know, help make it easier for them to get to and from there. But yeah, you're gonna see I glitched through the roof, trying to get this looking right. But it's details like this, you know, support structures, pillars, that kind of thing, really helps to kind of sell the illusion that you're in a real zoo. Because, you know, if things look like they're floating, it, you know, obviously breaks the immersion a bit, quite a bit actually. And then you're gonna see I'm going to go in here and adjust these metal beams to get them exactly where I want them, and then recolor them to be about the same color as the rocks behind them to kind of help them blend in, not look like they're sticking out too much. But yeah, then we're on to lighting and stuff. And I kept the foliage quite limited in here because it's indoors, you know, and king penguins don't usually live in places with a lot of foliage anyway. And they actually, I think the foliage I ended up putting in here, I put in a lot of the underwater eelgrass and stuff. And it actually is too much for them, but I didn't really care because I'm in sandbox mode anyway. So, but yeah, it's, you know, hopefully in Planet Zoo 2 we'll have a bit more flexibility there. Because in real life, you know, animals will get a little bit shy if, you know, or some animals don't like having a ton of foliage in their habitat, but some of them, most of them don't really mind usually, as long as it's not, you know, cutting down their personal space too much. for the most part. So yeah, I don't know, but anyway, here just putting in some final detailing stuff. I put in a bunch of lights overhead because it felt way too dark. That's another thing I'm looking forward to in the new game. It looks like they're going to have better global illumination, and the lighting effects are just going to look better in general. So, you know, indoor houses, it'll probably be easier to make them not look like super dark and dull and empty. But, yeah, so we're getting close to the end of the speed build now. I got a few minutes left. So, since we're getting close to the end of the speed build, I think I'll probably leave you guys with some of the music and stuff in the background. We're going to have a kind of longer real-time part in this video just to kind of show you guys some of the little things I've done off-screen. Quite a bit of stuff, actually. But this project just feels like I can sit at my computer and work on it for like 2 hours and make barely any progress, get barely anything done, just because there's so many little things. So hopefully going to continue making videos on this game as it gets closer to the release of Planet Zoo 2. I want to kind of build some of the hype, or kind of get in on some of the hype surrounding that, and so we're going to be discussing little different things in each of these videos going forward until Planet Zoo 2 is eventually released, and I think that'll be pretty fun. And I think it'll be fun to play this game and make videos on this game, and then kind of, when Planet Zoo 2 comes out, explore some of the differences, some of the things that have changed, some of the new additions and stuff. See how, like, for example here, these enrichment items I'm going to be placing here, see how those look and how those work in the game. And it'll be very interesting to see how that's different as well. We've already seen some differences there, but it'll be interesting to see more as time goes on. But that's gonna be about all for now. I don't know when our next episode in this series is going to be, but hopefully before too long. And I'm hoping to make a few more videos on this game, definitely a few more before Planet Zoo 2 comes out, and we're going to be pivoting to mostly playing that game. So I think that's about all for now, all I wanted to talk about. I'll see you guys in the real-time part then. If you've enjoyed this video so far, please make sure to like and subscribe. And like I said before, comment down below. Let me know what animals you think I should add next, because I have a few ideas, but I'm always open to suggestions. Always open to suggestions. And I want to kind of get people involved, get everyone who's watching involved, and kind of seeing what we do next. So that'll be it for now from me. I will see you guys in the real-time part. Welcome to the real-time part, everybody. Gonna go into explore mode, and we're gonna go check out the new penguin house. So you'll see here I did make a lot of changes to the area around the arrival point here. Just around the parking lot, there's a lot more plants and stuff now. I added a few of the dead trees that I can't remember who made them on the workshop, but someone made them on the workshop, and I adapted some of them for this to kind of add some variety to the forest around here. But if we go through here, entrance area is about the same as it was before, but if we go through here, through the entrance, you'll see I also added some more plants and stuff around here just to kind of, give it a kind of a more natural vibe and kind of make it feel inviting and welcoming. I do need to add some like barriers along the edge of the path there. Didn't get that done until now, but I'll get to that sooner or later, I guess, whenever I get to it. But yeah, so over here you'll see that's the penguin pass that we made before. The African penguin habitat, I'll show you that as well. But here I need to add some signs because this should tell you that you're going this way to go see the king penguins. But I got some more brush here as well just to kind of fill in some of this. I wanted it to feel very natural. Also have to figure out something to put here. But you go over here, and this is the other entrance to the Penguin Pass. And a nice little meadow here. And we got some nice foxglove flowers. I like those. Figured they kind of fit well here, add a nice pop of color. Here's the staff-only area for both of the penguin habitats. I just noticed I need to go in there and put a little piece of wood there at the top to make that look a bit better. But this is the staff entrance to the king penguin house, and then this is the Anderson king penguin house. I called it the Anderson king penguin house because I thought that name sounded cool, and I don't actually know anyone with the last name Anderson, but I thought, sounds like the name of someone that might build a king penguin house. There's our big staff building again. There's still quite a bit unfinished with that, but I think it's in a decent state right now. I'll probably go through and add more details to it as time goes on, especially because that door looks pretty small there. But anyway, so here's the entrance to the king penguin house. The rules of the king penguin house, I had a lot of fun putting this together. Number 1, no smoking. Do not touch glass. No flash photography. No littering. Stay on paths at all times. Place garbage in dedicated bins. No electronic penguin calls are allowed in case you would try to use them. Remain silent when the educators are speaking, and do not harass educators or other zoo staff. Enjoy the penguin house. I thought that was a nice little addition there. And then this door here is kind of grand looking, but I thought it looks nice for this. I do want to add a few more details to the outside of the house here. I want to add gutters and stuff too, but I didn't quite get to that in this episode. But we'll go through the door, and then, yeah, here is the penguin house on the inside here. You'll see I put a lot of lights in here to kind of light it up, but, we're paused. Yeah, let's get it unpaused. Yeah, so over here is the educator area, or the area where people would sit while the educators are doing a talk. That path is maybe a little bit narrow there. It's not even, but I think it looks fine. We've got our little penguin education board there. I'm looking at maybe adding a few more education boards in here, but I might use the billboards for those or something. I'm not sure, but yeah. Then we've got got our penguins hanging out there. Got our little water feature there, our little waterfall, which I think looks decent. And you got our underwater viewing area here for the penguins. You got a staff member walking through. And yeah, I think this looks pretty good. One thing I will say is I tried to kind of keep a consistent look to the whole penguin house. So I tried to keep it looking kind of like there's snow on top of the rocks. It's obviously fake snow. I actually made it using the faux rocks. But as you can see, lots of faux rocks in here, and the glass barrier goes all the way up to the top, to the ceiling there. I might change that ceiling out, actually, now that I look at it. The wood doesn't look the greatest from below, but I don't know. It looks fine, I guess. It just maybe feels a little bit unrealistic. But I don't know. We might change the ceiling then in the future, but yeah, so this is the king penguin house. This is where they dive and stuff. And then this over here is the exit to it. I need to add donation bins and stuff in here. And we have a vet walking through. Hello there, buddy. Hi. Anyway, so I'll show you guys quickly here in, I guess, in standard mode. So you'll see this is a big penguin house. And but we'll go in here, and you can see this is a very big habitat for them. But I wanted to be able to put in quite a few of them. And as you can see, they kind of swim around. They can deep dive. They have their fish feeder. I can't remember where, but it's down in there somewhere that they can, yeah, they'll dive down to eat the fish. Unfortunately, I don't have any fish coming up right now, but that's okay. I think the keepers are supposed to replenish that. Anyway, yeah, you can see we got our penguins in here. And this guy is standing here like a perfect statue. But yeah, I think I like the way this ended up turning out. It's, there's a lot of different pieces in here that I used to try and make it look varied and unique and original throughout. I just realized one of those coolers is under the rock there. That's all right. I'll fix that. For now, it just looks like smoke is coming out of the rock. But yeah, as you can see, this is the penguin house so far. I put in a little sprinkler thing for them to mess with. It seems like a bunch of them want to hang out around it. We don't have any babies in here. I think I turned off the thing that allows them to have babies because my other penguin habitat had too many babies in it. I might go in and change that later, but yeah, as you can see, they have a nice little habitat here. I guess I'll let you guys watch one of them swim a little bit, and I'm hoping maybe one of them will deep dive. Oh, there goes one of them now. But yeah, you can see they've got a nice little underwater world here for them. Got tons of seaweed or whatever you call that under the water to kind of add a little visual interest down here. I mean, the guests are never going to see it, but it's more for the penguins than anything else. But yeah, as you can see, you can probably tell, I added like 1 billion aquatic faux rocks in this habitat. Maybe not quite 1 billion, but a lot of them. And I also put in the enrichment items and stuff. And I added in this little light fixture. I don't think it actually does much or anything, but I think it looks pretty nice. I think this is a nice pool for them. Took a ridiculous amount of time to build it, but, you know, I think I'm satisfied with the way it looks. And, yeah, I got a lot of those gravel pieces in here. I don't think I can click on them right now because of all the other stuff on top of them, but those are from the workshop, I think. But yeah, you can see we got our penguins in here. They look pretty happy, I think. That guy is partially floating. Let's find one who isn't floating. This guy isn't. You look pretty happy, don't you? But yeah, so that is the penguin house. I think it looks pretty good. And then from the outside here, yeah, you can see there's some work I still need to do here. Kind of make this look a bit better, spruce it up a bit, but I I've been delaying making this video for so long. I didn't want to continue delaying it to keep adding details and stuff. But yeah, if you go around here, around this side of the king penguin house, eventually I think we're going to have some other habitat over here. I'm not exactly sure yet. But got some nice rocks and stuff set up around here. Kind of wanted it to look like a real Antarctic island kind of landscape, or somewhere like that where the king penguins are found in real life. So let's go back down into explore mode. So you're gonna exit the king penguin house there, come out through here. I need to add some signage and stuff, but that's okay. We'll do that later on then. And then over here we've got a little statue thing here where it's kind of showing off the king penguins on the right side and the African penguins on the left, and it's kind of meant to show the difference between their two different habitats. So you've got the more orangish African style rocks on the left side, and you got the more tundra rocks on the right, and it's supposed to look, kind of show you the difference in their two different habitat kinds. But I do need to add some more vegetation around here. And then for the African penguins, you can see I made signs for each of them here. I think they look decent. But as you'll see over here, I added some more details to the African penguin section, added some plants and stuff. And then you'll see they'll be diving here. I added a whole lot more rocks to their habitat here as well. I don't think I showed that in the speed build, but added a whole lot more to here. And and there's a lot of baby penguins in there, a lot of them. But yeah, I added some more vegetation and stuff too. You'll see here, yeah, I basically turned this into a big rock wall, faux rock wall, and then I added a bunch more of these. I think these are the Nitraria retusa bushes, or however you say them. Added a bunch of those, added a little more of the drin grass, I think, here and there. So, yeah, helps make it feel a little bit more lived in, a little bit less empty and boring, I think. And yeah, we have a lot of penguins in this habitat. But yeah, you can see the African penguins here too. I'm pretty satisfied with the way it looks. So yeah, you'll see I added a little statue, another penguin statue here to the start of the penguin pass for the African penguins. But yeah, added a few more details here. I don't remember if this restroom was over here before. I added that, and this is kind of a little nature trail thing here. But yeah, so I guess next time we're working on this, I want to build like a little restaurant here that has kind of a balcony or a patio looking out over the African penguin habitat. I'm not exactly sure how we'll do that. Eventually I want to put some kind of a habitat over here. We'll see though. And then I want to start moving into this section over here and this section up here, which are going to be, this is going to be kind of our local animals section. Then this is going to be our North American section. I'm going to have a few different habitats we do up here, I think. But yeah, ignore all my assets and stuff that I have sitting here. These are just here because I have nowhere else to put them right now. And yeah, a lot of work still needs to be done on this zoo, but I'm actually quite liking the way it's coming together. It might end up being my best zoo build I've made yet in the end, but we've still got a lot of work to do. As a reward for sitting through yet another long one of my videos like this, I want to give you guys a little bit of time with the animals yet, with both our African penguins and our king penguins. So we'll do that, I think. Here, just kind of let you guys see them running around and stuff. I quite like this habitat. I think it especially looks really nice, I think, at dawn. Or like early in the morning. That's a bit too dark. There we go. But yeah, look at that. That looks beautiful, doesn't it? Looks really nice. Man, this game, considering how it came out all the way back in 2019, the graphics still hold up, and they still look really beautiful. Has me even more excited for Planet Zoo 2 when it comes out. Over here, I guess we'll take a look at the king penguins. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with the shadows there, but it only does that in like the morning, so I think it's just a clipping issue or something. But let you guys watch the king penguins for a little bit here. I want to watch, yeah, they're deep diving. I want to watch one of them eat from the fish feeder maybe, but I don't think they'll do it right now because I don't think it's feeding time for them. But also you'll probably notice there's no guests in the zoo right now. I had to disable guests coming in for now, at least until I can get the path situation worked out a bit better so that there's less congestion and stuff. Also, I feel like for these little tours and stuff, the guests kind of take you out of the experience because, you know, they make all kinds of noises and stuff that is a little annoying. But this guy is climbing on this rock here. That's interesting. Yeah, next time we'll try and get some baby penguins in here, I think. And I'll maybe show them when they're in here. But look at you, buddy. I love these penguin models. I really hope that in Planet Zoo 2, I hope they'll have more penguin species for us to include in our habitats and stuff, because there's some, especially like the rockhopper penguins and the what are they called, Gentoo penguins, I think, too. They would be really nice to include in our penguin houses like this. Maybe even have the ability to include multiple penguin species in one habitat. That would be really nice, I think. But I don't know why they get so congested around this rock here, but yeah. So I think that'll be it for our real-time part. Kind of wanted to keep it short and sweet, but it probably went a little longer than necessary. Do stay tuned for more episodes of this series. I'm not sure when I'll be getting more out, but I will, hopefully, in the next couple months or two. As we get closer to Planet Zoo 2's release, I want to make a few more videos on this game and kind of show some things off and make some habitats for animals we haven't really done before in this game yet. So anyway, thanks for watching to this point in the video. Thanks for listening to me ramble on, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.